Welcome to Raindrops, the movie. This is a fun little technique that happens entirely on a layer style, which means it can be saved and applied to any image with hard-edged transparency. Due to file size restrictions and for clarity, this movie doesn't include many shortcuts. If you're looking for shortcuts, source files, or enhancements, please refer to the Raindrops webpage. To begin, we need to open a background image. You can use the image that I'm using here by going to the Photoshop file icon at the top of the web page, clicking on it, and that will open up an additional web page with download instructions. We need to create a new layer above our background to put the paint drops on. So go to the Create a New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers palette and click on it to create Layer 1. Now go down and click on the Default Colors icon to make sure we've got black in the foreground and white in the background. Then go up to the Brush tool and select a hard-edged 19-pixel brush. Make sure the mode is set to normal and the opacity to 100%. Then go down to the document and click Drag with a bit of wiggle to create the drop shape. We'll use this to build the layer style on. Now I'll activate the Zoom tool and then click Drag around the area that I want to magnify and release. Now open the Layer Style dialog by double-clicking on Layer 1's name in the Layers palette. Then go down to Advanced Blending Fill Opacity and set it to 3%. This will make the black paint drop in the document almost disappear. Now we need to activate the Drop Shadow section from the list on the left. To do this, click on its name, not the checkbox. Now in the Drop Shadow section to the right, set the opacity to 100%, the distance to 1, and the size to 1. Now below, in the Quality section, you'll see a contour curve thumbnail with an arrow to the right. Click on the arrow to bring up a list of additional curves. We want to select the one that looks like a sloping S. It's the Gaussian curve to the far right. Click on it, and then click outside to apply it. Now activate the Inner Shadow section by clicking on its name in the list of effects on the left side of the dialog box. In the Structure section to the right, set the blend mode to color burn, the opacity to 43%, and the size to 10. Now activate the Inner Glow section by clicking on its name in the list of effects on the left side of the dialog box. To the right, in the Structure section, set the blend mode to overlay, the opacity to 30%, and the color chip to black. Now activate the Bevel and Emboss section by clicking on its name on the list to the left. In the Structure section to the right, set the technique to Chisel Hard, the depth to 250%, the size to 15, and Soften to 10. In the Shading section below, set the angle to 90 degrees and the altitude to 30 degrees. Set the highlight mode opacity to 100%. For the shadow mode, we need to change the blend mode to Color Dodge, its color chip to white, and the opacity to 37%. This completes the layer style. Now you can save the layer style for future use by clicking on the New Style button on the right side of the dialog box. This will open a dialog where you can name it and then click OK to save. Now that we've completed the layer style, click OK to leave the layer style dialog box. Okay, now for the fun part. The layer style that we created applies its effect to any paint that's on layer 1. So, if you go get your brush and start painting, rather than painting with black, you should now be painting with raindrops. In the rest of this sequence, I'll show you how to modify some text so that it looks like it's been drawn in water. So first we need to activate the Type tool. Now go up to Window and drag down to Show Character. In the Character palette, select your font. Set the size to 85 point and the leading to 45 point, and the color to black. Then click on the Paragraph tab and click on the Center Text button in the upper left section of the palette. Now click in the center of the document and enter your raindrops text. After you've entered the N on Rain, hit the Return key on the Mac or the Enter key on the PC to drop the text down one line. To reposition your type, move your cursor beyond the text until it turns into a Move tool. Then you can click and drag. To apply the text, hit Command Return on the Mac or Control Enter on the PC. Now, with the Raindrops text layer active, create a new layer under it by holding down the Command key for the Mac or Control for PC, and then clicking the New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers palette. This will create Layer 2 under the Raindrops layer. Now we want to fill Layer 2 with white. So press the D key or click on the Default Colors icon. Then go to Edit, Fill, and select Background Color from the Contents drop-down menu. Now click on the Raindrops layer to activate it. Then go to Layer, Merge Down. This will remove the Raindrops layer as it merges down onto Layer 2. Now, with Layer 2 active, go to Filter, Pixelate, Crystallize. Set the cell size to 10 and click OK. Next, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and in the dialog set the radius to 5 pixels and click OK. With Layer 2 still active, go to Image, Adjust, Levels. In the Levels dialog, set the input levels to 160, 1.0, and 190. Then click OK. Now we need to delete the white areas. To do this, we'll load a selection from the areas of contrast in the image. Click on the Channels tab. Then at the bottom, click the Load Channel as Selection icon. Then click on the Layers tab. The selection loads with the white area selected. So now hit the Delete key for the Mac or the Backspace key for the PC. Now deselect by going up to Select and down to Deselect. Finally, to apply our previously saved style, go up to Window, drag down to Show Styles to bring up the Styles palette. Locate your saved Raindrops style at the end of the list of thumbnails and click it to apply the style to Layer 2. Layer 1, your Raindrops, and Layer 2, your wet text, can be repositioned with the Move tool or transformed via Free Transform, or painted on and erased to enhance or adjust the effect. So there you have it, Raindrops. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on ways to improve this technique, please post them in the Raindrops Techniques section of the Photoshop Techniques forum. Thank you for visiting PhotoshopTechniques.com.